Hey Queen! Welcome back. Today we are going to make the classic Russian Napoleon cake. So let's start with the ingredients of the puff pastry. 400 grams of frozen butter, 1 egg, very cold water, a pinch of salt, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and 1 kilogram of flour. Sieve the flour to remove any lumps. Cover a grater with flour from both sides. Also, cover the butter from all sides with flour and start shredding. Make sure you dip the butter in flour frequently, otherwise it will stick to the grater. Mix the butter and the flour until they are well combined, and make a hole in the middle to add the wet ingredients. Now in a glass, add the salt, the vinegar, and the egg and mix them well. Then add cold water until the glass is filled and mix them very well. Your total should be 250 milliliters. Now add the wet ingredients gradually and mix until the dough is formed. Cover the dough with plastic wrap, put it in the freezer for 20 minutes, and then in the fridge for an hour. Until the dough cools down, prepare the cream filling. Ingredients are 400 grams of sugar, 120 grams of flour, 1 liter of milk, 200 grams of butter, vanilla powder, and 4 eggs. First, combine the dry ingredients, the flour, the sugar, and 1 teaspoon of the vanilla powder. Now crack the eggs and mix them very well. It's always recommended to crack the eggs one by one in a different bowl. Just in case one of those eggs isn't fresh and had gone bad, it doesn't ruin the rest of the eggs. Pour the milk into a saucepan and bring to simmer over medium heat. Add 2 ladles of the hot milk to the egg mixture and stir constantly. Now pour the mixture into the saucepan and cook it over medium heat until it becomes thick, and keep whisking all the time. Now pour the cream into a bowl and cover it with plastic wrap. The plastic wrap has to cover the surface directly to prevent any layer formation. Now let it cool completely and let's start baking the dough. Remove the plastic wrap from the dough and cut it into 6 equal parts. Cover your working surface and rolling pin with flour and start rolling. When your first rectangle is formed, fold the dough like this and roll the dough again until you have very thin layer. Place a plate on the dough and cut around it. Cut the edges and bake them as well, because we are going to use them as crumbs for decoration. Put the dough on the baking tray and pierce it using a knife or a fork. That will prevent it from forming air bubbles while baking. And bake it in preheated oven at 200 degrees for around 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, and when it starts to turn into nice golden brown color, flip it and put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Now let's finish working on the cream filling. Put the butter in the mixer and mix it until it softens. Now add the cream mixture that we prepared, and after it cooled down to the room temperature, to the softened butter and mix everything very well. Now that we have everything ready to go, let's start layering the cake. On the serving plate, put a small amount of the cream before you put the first layer of the cake, to secure all the layers and to make sure that the cake doesn't move. Now put the first layer and spread some of the filling over it, and repeat the same for the other layers. Don't forget to spread some of the cream over the sides. Now crush the layer scraps into crumbs using your hands, or you can put them in a plastic bag and crush them using rolling pin. Now sprinkle the crumbs over the top of the cake and press them over the sides. Now put the cake in the fridge for at least 6 hours, but it's best to leave it there overnight. And there you have it, guys. That's how to make classic Russian Napoleon cake. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for more delicious recipes. Till next week, Queens!